Hello everybody and welcome back to the round 5 of the WTC in Poland in 2018. I'm your host Jamie.
I'm Alex.
And we have got England, or United Kingdom, sorry, versus Germany.
United Kingdom spread across the whole of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So players just exchanged dice. So each team has a dice. They just swap their dice over.
Yep.
It's a nice little memento of the occasion.
Yep.
Yes, Timmy, we can hear you. Now he's waving at us. So for those unaware, Timmy managed to dislocate his arm in the early stages of his trip to Poland. So he's kind of slightly handicapped in this one. He won't be using the dice trays. So he's playing Morticians. His lineup is Obulus, Dirge, Graves, Casket, Gast, and Veteran Hemlock. Timmy, for those unfamiliar, is on... Stop.
He is
doing memes in my ear, Timmy.
So you guys at home can't hear, but we have the players talking in our ear. And
he is on the left of the screen, and then on the right of the screen we have Jason Mountain representing Team UK, controlling Blackheart, Coin, Hemlock, Vet Fangtooth, Decimate, and Mist.
And for their game plan cards,
so we did when Giblin came over. After getting the information on the plot cards, he had like child at Christmas face on with how kind of interesting these cards have come out in the draw. Yep. Obviously, whenever you're playing against Obulus, the legendary is very potent. And it's not just like the turn it happens, but it's the effect it has on every turn where it doesn't happen and is still available. So plot cards can often be very pivotable. That's definitely not a word. Pivotal in a matchup against Obulus because they can really dictate a turn, like who gets the initiative, depending on where those cards go. And those cards went, Mr. Giblin. You're not Perkins, you're Giblin.
So Jason drew Seize the Initiative, +7, Lone Striker, +7, Midfield General for +3 but +1 influence, fullback and go for the knees. So he's got a very top-heavy but also lower end of the scale, whereas Timmy got a +6, a +5, a +4, a +4, and a +2. So Timmy has like a very middling to higher of the cards, and it's going to be an interesting one because Timmy's going to know, like, if he scores, goes into the end of turn with like 4 momentum each turn, he's going to be pushing like a 9 or an 8 for most of the game. Yeah. And obviously, because he's not seen any 7s, he's got to assume.
You would assume opponents got them both.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting one. But for the cards they've got, Timmy's got Stick to the Plan, Dig Deep, Keep the Ball Moving, Wing Back, and Sell it to the Crowd. So he's got some good on-card effects as well.
Speaking of Sell it to the Crowd, Jamie.
Yeah.
We have a code.
We do. If you have enjoyed our streams so far this weekend, have enjoyed our streams in the past, and want to continue to enjoy our streams, please use the code TEAMSTREAM10 this weekend on store.steamforged.com for 10% off all Guild Ball products. And this will show the guys back at home that these streams are worthwhile, not only for a community building aspect and showing off the play at the best that Guild Ball can be, but also there is a monetary benefit to this, because it is not cheap to send the team stream around the world. And we'd love to keep coming out and covering these events. And if you want us to keep doing that, use Team Stream 10 this weekend.
And thank you to those of you that already have.
Yes, thank you
very much.
And
I will do my bit at the end of that.
Yeah.
The code will expire at 11:59 tonight, BST, British Standard Time. Yep. So make sure if there's some stuff you want to pick up in the Guild Ball line at store.steamforged.com, got it, then do so before then. And if you are watching this on YouTube, that code will have expired, assuming you're watching it after that date. I'm pretty sure they won't be uploaded on YouTube outside of like the ones that will automatically archive when the stream finishes. So if you are watching it past that date, the code will be expired, so don't use it. But thank you for watching anyway.
And guys at home, if you can spread that around with your friendship groups, with your local meta, anyone who you think is going to get into Guild Ball, that's a perfect chance to pick up Kickoff and the free paint set at 10% off and get into Guild Ball ready for Season 4. For those of you who might be new to the game and unfamiliar, Kickoff will be updated for Season 4, simply because you can download all the cards for free from our website that update all your models.
And I guess while we're here, if you're enjoying all the Guild Ball content and not so much enjoying the big breaks in the middle, make sure to head over to the website and check out the massive amount of blogs that have been going out regarding Season 4 card updates, so on and so forth.
And get ready for our Free Cities Draft, the 2018 community event, where new rookie players will be drafted to all the major guilds. If you play a minor guild or the union, you can cast your vote for anybody. Obviously, we recommend that your minor guild should go to your major guild. It makes sense that you support them. But if you've got plans to backstab, then you can do it by voting for someone else.
So, as a surprise to no one, we've got Obulus doing the kickoff. And then Timmy just declaring his intent that I want that 6 lined up so that if it goes there, it just follows this line but does not go over it. Both players agreed. There goes the roll. Kick is successful. Direction is 3. Distance is 5. Going to re-roll it. Gets a 5 for 5. He was going to be pretty happy with that.
Now, for those of you who are watching the previous game, Germany obviously did win the round despite France winning the game on stream.
And can we have a stream round of applause for Timmy for forcing himself to use that arm that is recuperating from being dislocated, because he had to use both to do that measurement.
Yep. That's why he didn't like the 5-5. He's like, damn it.
Oh, God, it's all the way over there, and I can't really lean on this arm because it'll just pop out and then bad things will happen. I've seen a lot of Timmy playing, because obviously this is their 3rd game in a row that the German team have been playing have been playing on this set of 3 tables. Timmy's generally been on the bottom one, and I don't know if that is purely because he can move around the side of it to be able to do these measurements, whereas all of our equipment is in the way for this one. But he said he was willing to grin and bear it. So this is the final member of this team. So it's the same team that you've seen on for the past 2 rounds.
Yep.
This is the final player. You've seen them all. You've seen the last 2 both lost.
Yeah, so
Christian lost to Bryce, and then we saw Dominic lose to Robin. His name is Robin, not Kenny. We found that out after an hour and a half of streaming that game and calling him Kenny the entire time. Actual name is Robin. That team does have a member called Kenny, but he wasn't playing on the stream. He was playing Tim.
Yep.
So,
and Tim in the last game managed to win 12-10.
10 points on clock out?
And he scored 10 points on clock. So he just when his models died, he was just like, no, I'm not bringing it back on.
Yep.
He said at the time it was 15 minutes up, and he was like, if I don't bring them back on, it's just more time for you to activate.
Yep. So that was an activation there to go and scoop the ball and pass it across. And Timmy has always been very good at maintaining a clock advantage. He's always crazy quick. Even with one arm, he's generally been like 10 minutes up in most of his games.
Yeah. Players are just clarifying that they are in the correct distances and like maximum measurements away from people.
Coin popping out a bag of coffers onto, I think that's Hemlock.
And Jason kindly offering there saying, if you need any hand moving stuff, just let me know because you've hurt your arm.
So, textbook Timmy, he's looking for really interesting play here if he goes for it.
So last time we had Timmy on stream, he won the World Championship.
So Timmy's currently now measuring to see if it is worth using misdirection to get rid of Glut Mass.
Yep.
Then Puppet Master to get the ball is what he's thinking about.
And Timmy's saying there that the thing he's worried about is the blind from Hemlock, in which case he just has to hope he misses.
Yep. And there goes the measurement for the blind in a shocking turn of events. It will, of course, be a bonus time blind due to the bag of coffers and the free bonus time.
Yep. We've talked about this quite a lot whenever we see Hemlock and Coin, and they are such a good pairing together. You put one on Hemlock, and with Coin
your
next to
general turn to turn is pop it on, and then it opens up a full toolkit with a bonus time in there. Moves up within 8 of Obulus. Noxious Blast goes out.
2 damage and poison on Obulus. Bag of coffers to blind.
Hits it. Does get it.
Oh. Second win brings her away. Great bit of play there from Jason. Right, got to head into YouTube comments now that we've done all the notifications that the game is live. Guys in chat, if you know people who want to watch, be sure to go let them know that we are live now. I've only just put the notifications out because the round was delayed by about 20 minutes or so due to lunch and, I believe, a potential redraw that may have happened. Timmy saying he should probably mark his damage.
Probably should. If I did it, rare occasion where I did it. I always find when I get to the middle of a game, I get so caught up, I just start forgetting to mark damage.
Yeah.
Not when I'm playing, just when we're doing, just casually halfway through a game. No, I'm not going to mark this anymore.
I'm so excited now. I don't want to track anything. So, pass the ball from Veteran Fangtooth to Mist. Which is successful. Takes the dodge. And Obulus's threat range is 14 inches. A 16-inch threat with Hemlock. Because it can make a jog with Midnight Offering.
But obviously blinded, so we'll only get 2 inches out of that blog. Blog?
Out of that blog?
Jog.
That blind jog.
Yep.
A blog.
That's definitely what I meant.
So we saw the Veteran Fangtooth moving up to maintain within 6 inches of Mist, so Mist gains motivated to get Shadowlike. We saw Dirge there move up, or Casket, and Blackheart Shadowlike sprints to Blackheart going to the other side of the cover so he can't be puppet mastered forwards. Back over to Timmy. Timmy's turn 1 so tight, he's already nearly 2 minutes up.
Well, I also think a contributing factor to that is he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah, you've got very quick moves.
And he doesn't have to be as aware of threat range, whereas Jason is like, I need to get this ball.
Yep. Midnight Offering onto Obulus. Gets a 2-inch jog. So Jason coming in just to measure that potential threat. Is that only one influence on Mist?
Yeah. A lot went into Hemlock.
Yep.
And Decimate to get the second wind.
So I guess we'll be looking at a Shadowlike sprint over onto the fast ground, potentially.
Is he in range for the Shadowlike?
He was, yes. He measured that earlier. Sprint 8 just clipping the fast ground there.
Yep.
And as you can see, measured to be out of range of Obulus's threat and pushing him back just for good measure to make sure.
Measured as the 14 because the 2 is obviously already gone from the Midnight Offering. So they're just measuring the 14.
Now Timmy's measurements come out and suddenly it's in range.
Yep. So I wonder if this is what happens if I puppet master myself forward to
get ready
set
for
up.
next turn. Yeah. I mean, and that's a solid play to sprint, or Shadowlike sprint, puppet master for next turn.
Yep.
Try and get yourself in range of the pass to yourself.
Jason just moving the poison out the way.
Confidence on himself. Puppet Master onto Blackheart. Here we go. So he's got a reroll on this if he wants it. Doesn't need it. And Timmy asks, would you mind moving him 4 inches directly back? And turn 1 is complete. Obulus takes 2 damage from poison. And momentum, I believe, is 0-0 because the dodge was taken from Fangtooth's pass.
Jason might have 1 because he did the pass early.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a dodge from that one.
Yeah, the bead in the goal semicircle might be it.
Yeah. Because I know when he retrieved the ball and passed it back, I don't know if there was any momentum spent on that one.
An interesting stat for you is that
Sees the
initiative
so
played.
7 comes out.
An interesting stat for you would be that the most populous team at the WTC is Fishermen.
Yep.
However, the Fishermen have not appeared yet on top table as far as we're aware.
Nope. Granted, we don't necessarily... It's a weird tournament to cover in terms of the streaming stuff because usually these are your 2 players, so you find out their information, their full roster, we can go through everything and then what they chose and stuff. Whereas when it's WTC, it's a bit more frantic because you've got a team of 3 that then decide on their pairings and matchups as they're going, and then we kind of have to jump in and go, right, who's on the streaming table? Who's using what? So it's like way harder to prepare for.
Yeah.
And obviously, we have 0 control over who is on it.
Who's on. So I know a couple of you have said, oh, we've seen too much Union. It might just be that Union are a good matchup for this board. It could just be possibly. That, you know, when they put down a guild, that's the one that the Union can go against. So we have no control over it.
Yeah, as always, when we come to the event, I mean, granted, we don't have too much of a say on the Steamforged ones, but when it's kind of an independent event like this, we try to have as little impact on the games as possible. We just talk about them and get people's names wrong for an hour and a half.
Kenny.
Good old Kenny, lest we forget.
Yeah. I went to him after the game and was like, your name's Kenny, right? He was like, no, Robin, like Robin Hood. I was like, oh.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Oops.
Well, you've been called Kenny on the stream for the past hour, so I'm really sorry about that.
Can we grab a photo and then we'll try and make sure that if people see you around and want to congratulate you, they call you by your right name?
Yeah. Oh, you're Kenny now. Okay, so missed there. Sprint acrobatic, by the looks of it, to come over back to cover, or a sprint and a pass. Misses the pass.
That seems bad.
Would have been a nice pass to then use Big Belly. Is it Big Belly?
Pot belly pass.
Pot belly pass. And then he leaves it out. That's
that is
also
wise.
Pretty good, to be honest. No one can have that pass to Obulus. Oh. Was that a snap in the end or not? I mean,
no, sure.
Players didn't talk about that last little move of the ball. I'm not sure if that's taken onto veteran Fangtooth or left out.
I mean, Force is an expensive misdirect to get rid of Gluttonous first if he did take it. But
or an activation which then allows you to
move it
along.
I also wonder if Obulus is in range for a charge, if I'm honest, with a Shadow-like.
Onto
Fangtooth. Yeah.
Fangtooth? 10 inches? Probably not.
Because those lines are 12 apart, and they're both about to me that looks like they're both. If you add the distance that Obulus is from that line and the distance that Fangtooth is from that line, that looks about 2 inches. So it's just how much extra is the diagonal doing?
Yeah. And can Obulus escape the rough ground or with his Shadow-like?
Yeah, I think that one would. That's a fair point, actually. 3 inches is surprisingly large when it's around a 40 mil bench. Yeah. 40 mil or 50 mil casket? 40 mil.
Yeah, no 50 mils on this board. So a quick flurry of activations there. The bird moved. Looks like Decimate ran up.
Yeah. Trying to work out who he wants to put in the box at this point, I think.
Yeah.
That's what the setup is.
You take anyone, right? anyone can go in the box, but who is the easiest?
Who's the right one? Well, against this lineup, like Decimate's kind of this a big damage dealer in this team, so getting her off, but then she comes back on so fast.
Yeah.
I know, not that I am a good Morticians player, but whenever I'd looked at getting someone in the box, dream case scenario, captain.
Yeah.
Second one, someone slow.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to take them it's going to cost them so much more because it's just someone that's not going to be involved. But it also depends on how much of a linchpin that player is, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like, also, you might say, like, your tech piece, so being able to put Hemlock in the box, probably not going to happen because she'll never be up that far, but putting her in the box just shuts down that blind, shuts down the noxious.
Well, like if Benediction was on there, removing that kind of freedom on your character plays and just that horrible counter attack and stuff.
Yep.
Good luck getting Benediction in the box, though.
Yeah, I know. From what I saw, I can't remember seeing Benediction on his roster, to be honest.
Fangtooth seems to have filled that gap for a lot of people. I do think they're a different player, but I think
they
it's
are.
just
One's veteran Fangtooth, one is Benediction.
My eye is twitching.
Do we see a successful blind then?
Like failed blind.
Failed blind. Oh. It's open. And the blind is missed. Was the blind on casket?
Aimed for casket and missed, yeah.
Okay. Interesting doing a blind on him after he's activated. I guess there's not much to worry about there.
No. Had a comment saying the distance between the lines is 16. I'm fairly certain it's 12 because I thought it was from the goal to the next one is 4.
You're right. This is 4. That's the tap-in line. Distance is 16 because if you are on the kickoff line, you have
20 inches from goal to goal, right? Because I think I said it was 8 last time and then immediately realised I was wrong because remembered the whole 20 inches from goal to goal.
Yeah.
And there's no way that line from kind of the dotted line to the deployment line is any less than 4 inches.
Yeah. Looking here at... Well, surely not a legendary to steal the momentum to glide. This is one of the things I find about Casket is, as your opponent, remembering his rough ground aura, because it can be, if it's missed and ignored, it's so important because it's a huge, like, he's an amazing character, but he comes with this.
And at this point, it's entirely down to, okay, so it does pay for the glide.
Pays for glide. How does Timmy track his momentum? Oh, he's got
a tracker down there. That was his only momentum. Because obviously he went second, so he had the 1 anyway.
Okay, So players confirm that is cool to Shadow-like, Glide, Sprint, Puppet Master, Confidence, Puppet Master, and then we'll have 1 attack at the end. Gets it, is successful. Six dice. Is engaged by Graves. Takes 2 momentous damage, and then heals. So, Obulus back on full health by my counts.
And Decimate on 12.
A tooled up Ghast is a
I
scary
believe
prospect
Graves
to
would have
come in.
taken 2 damage there, because now he's poisoned, so...
Who is, sorry? Oh, yes, yeah.
Did he get hit by the Noxious Blast?
He must have done, yeah.
So he was probably on 10 then, if he had that from turn 1. I was too busy watching what was going on with Opulus.
So, Blackheart, Shadow-like Sprint or Shadow-like Jug? So checking that Ghast has a 9-inch threat and looking at a misdirection from Blackheart. Instead, just looks like he wanders up. Pitch from Blackheart there. Midnight Offering on from Hemlock onto herself for 3 damage. If Timmy can pick his card up to mark it, that is. Ends up there after the normal move. And
tries a blind.
The blind hits. Very nice. Has there been a Blackheart activation? I'm intrigued how he moved earlier. I've not gone crazy, have I?
Did he get ball passed to him? Must have got the ball passed to him before it's dodge.
Okay.
Fangtooth picked the ball up, passed it to him. Because now Blackheart's got the ball, but the ball was in the middle of the pitch. So.
Got you. Four dice and 4 for the charge onto Casket. Ooh. Momentous knockdown and single dodge. And 3 damage,
so
down to 2.
Down to 2 because he has Tough Hide, right?
Yep.
Tough Hide and Reanimate. What a bag of fun.
Four dice, 2s and 1. I mean, all he's looking for here is dodges, so the blind hurts the shot, but not particularly the attacks. Takes the double dodge. And just say, what am I doing? Gas hasn't done anything yet. He will kill, or he will ruin Blackheart. In case you couldn't hear them there, they called over to us saying, wow, aren't I doing well? Just saying, well, at least I remembered that before I committed. 1 momentous double dodge. One last time. Double dodge. Back out.
Saved.
Wow.
All that set up to get over there.
Yeah. A question from chat, was confidence too cautious on the thing? And he couldn't spend it otherwise?
Well, he could have had it for an attack, but it's kind of like, do I not to have one more influence? You're just putting even more weight on making sure that Puppet Master hits, at which point I think you talk yourself round to, well, if it's that important, yes, I confidence. It's always easy to say, was it too cautious after you've rolled it and it was successful?
But also, what's Timmy's turn if he doesn't get a model in?
Yeah.
He has to Midnight Offering and overextend himself. Bringing the player into you lets you keep your bubble on your side of the pitch.
If you have a plan and you have something that can make that plan more likely,
to do it.
Don't get greedy.
Yeah.
Do the thing that makes it more likely, because there's no such thing as a certainty. So you just have to, as we've said a few times
there is a
you have to make your own
There is
luck.
certainty. Everything's 50-50.
Yeah, and that's the closest thing to a certainty.
That's the only thing that's certain in the world.
Yeah. But it's...
oh no, logic failure. Everything's a 50-50.
Yeah, the only thing that's 100% is that everything is 50-50.
That doesn't work.
That's a brain teaser, isn't it? Yeah, you make your own luck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you've done everything in your power and like within the game that you can to make something successful and it's failed, you you have nothing to regret from that outside of, wow, I wish I rolled dice better. But
so we saw interject. There's a charge there from Gast against Decimate and took a momentous knockdown.
Yep.
So Graves takes 2 from poison. Obulus takes 2 from poison. Jason has 5 momentum. Can't quite see what Timmy has.
I mean, I want to say that says 1.
Yeah, from the momentous knockdown.
Yeah. going from a 94% to a 99% still leaves a percentage of failure, and that percentage of failure costs you anything to do in the turn.
So which plot cards? So which two seasons of ingraining. Which game plan cards are they going to choose?
And we're also looking at a turn where, sure, if it was going to be...
Striker plays another 7.
If it
Sevens are out.
If it was likely to be close on momentum, I could see more of an argument for not confidencing.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jason was up on momentum, and Timmy knows he hasn't got any 7s, so Timmy knows Timmy doesn't have any 7s.
Timmy must be in a pretty good headspace now.
Yeah,
he's seen the 2 7s. He now has that confirmed in his mind, and he's still got his legendary Rigor Mortis to guarantee going first in a turn, basically.
Yeah, there haven't been any of these turns coming out where it's so easy to get sucked in when you're playing Obulus. You have loads of momentum. I might want that, but then you have to kind of look ahead and go, what do you really have in the first turn that really bothers me?
Yeah. And
you just going on a goal run with Black Heart isn't enough for me to be overly bothered about that.
No. So Union choosing to go first. I'm just allocating out to the Mortician team here. Looks like 4 or 5, or maybe just 4 on Obulus. And loading up his beaters to...
1 on Hemlock, 1 on Ghast, 2 on Graves, and 2 on Casket, I think.
So Blackheart going 2 inches
So now
forwards.
he's going to do what he was going to do last turn, assuming Ghast had activated.
Taking a legendary for dodge to bring Decimate away. Gives her a less effective kill, effectively.
Yeah, I think that's just a cheeky bonus.
Yeah. Fangtooth dodges around the terrain. Hitting Casket. 5 dice because a lone striker. Looking for 2s and 1. Butchery.
So that's cancelling out the tough hide now.
So 1 damage double dodge through to 5 because of Butchery, which is momentous. It looks like looking to get a stay within 8. And Casket is knocked down. Spends 2 momentum. Hitting again. Another 1 damage double dodge. So bringing back a little bit, so we say, clarified before the move, I want to be out of Hemlock and in with Casket. Again, 2 damage double dodge. Hits him again. So checking here for a foul load of range. Can he jog over there? He's putting 1 for the shot, 1 more for an attack. Takes a swing. Save again. 2 damage double dodge down to 1. 2 to here. He's not yet moved.
Get out of foul loader. And I'm going to jog. So yes, he has moved that far and hasn't actually used his jog yet.
Yep, that's Blackheart. Timmy confirms that's a clean,
trying to make a clean
30
angle
mil
past
path.
Dirge. Yep. I didn't realise that was Dirge, I'm not going to lie. And
he misses.
2 2s and 2 1s.
Oh.
That's pretty dire.
And Scatter. Wow.
And Dirge.
And he bonus timed it. He did literally everything he could.
Yeah, everything he could. Just a rough roll.
Timmy, big smile on his face. Yeah, guys in chat, I agree. Rough as anything.
Ghast moving in. Hits him. Hitting Decimate.
1 point of damage.
Just 1 point of damage.
Dirge there, snap the ball from the missed shot. A little bit flustered here from the missed shot on goal. Couldn't remember the name of Decimate.
Well, that was the plan turn. The plan turn? That was the turn plan.
Yeah.
So, like, there was kind of... I'm assuming the plan was score that goal, and then if you have the kind of time in between activations, you try and get another blind out in the best place.
Yeah.
And that's basically the plan, and then it's set up.
Decimate here taking a part in blow.
Yeah. Gets knocked down.
Gets knocked down. 2 damage knocked down.
I'm assuming Hemlock's going to pick her up.
Yeah.
Just want to get out of that melee zone.
Yeah, don't want to be engaged by Ghast. So many missed goals on stream. It seems to happen a lot, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it really does. I blame Steve.
4 dice tapping? Nah.
Yeah, they're nearly all tap-ins as well. Like, that's it. I'm in tap-in and I bonus timed. What more can I do?
Yeah. Wow. So the dice he rolled there wasn't a clean flat. Takes a double push.
You can come back in and you're on the floor. Thank you kindly.
Yep. Coin moves up. Bag of coffers and extra influence.
It's interesting that even after that really long Blackheart activation, Timmy's still down on time.
Yeah.
Obulus moves up, charging Hemlock.
Nice.
And then Dirge is just going to fly down that wing, I imagine. Two damage.
Two damage.
Two
damage. So there's a tooled up on Obulus, which is why these one hits are just doing 2 damage. Oh. Oh dear. Last attack. Kills her.
And Hemlock goes down. 2 points
down
to
2
Timmy.
points to Timmy. And Jason there saying, oh, I didn't realise he was tooled up. If I'd seen it, I'd have defensive, but it's my fault.
Yeah, and Timmy was fairly clear when he did it. I just think that had happened at a time where the goal had just been missed.
Yeah.
Jason wasn't truly entirely focused on what was going on.
Yeah. So veteran Fangtooth spends a point of momentum to glide.
I'll see your 2 points.
Oh. So
He's
just getting a little bit flustered here.
Yep. He just kind of measured his distance and moved up.
He didn't have any influence to attack, but he spent the momentum to glide and didn't quite get into 2.
Yeah.
And he's moved him, so there's no way to track. So, you know, if there was ever something to do, guys, is pre-measure.
Yeah.
You're allowed to win the game. Don't risk it. Dirge snaps the ball.
So the amount of times that you see people go for it, Jason was doing it there, where he started his movement forward with Blackheart, but didn't pull out the widget to measure where he wanted to go from goal until right towards the end of the move. And it's just always know what you want to do and how far you need to go to do it.
Yep.
Got a pie full of plastic widgets there. Need to use them.
With both the 7s out of Jason's hand as well.
Yep, not looking strong. I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure how much of a stronger position you'd be in had he scored in terms of control of the game.
I guess
But I think it may have influenced some of the decisions he's made that have handed a lot more,
control.
more control.
So again, from a misplay of the measurement of Vector and Fangtooth, Casket can now leave
Now
harm-free.
go for a wander. And then Hemlock will just wander up. And now
Staying out
it's
the
going to be,
Aura.
I'm assuming, wandering up and then a Midnight Offering to get Casket in onto set up the Casket time on Decimate.
Yep. Oh, Hemlock. Hemlock's dead. So original Hemlock's dead.
Yeah.
Buys an attack on Decimate. 7 dice, 3s and 1. 3 hits is 2 momentous damage. 7 health left on Decimate. So 2 damage on Obulus, 2 damage on Graves.
Graves sinking a bit low on 6 by my calculation. Obulus on 10 because he did the heal to cover the last 2 turns of...
Jason saying missing the goal, swings the tempo, and Timmy says, yep, I agree. Oh, I think
it swung it more because Jason does get very emotionally invested, and I think, like...
Especially with Blackheart.
You've got the miss, and then that was just compounded by the 2 activations following it were a bit of a miss as well.
Yeah, walking Decimate away. I guess you walk Decimate away, you get knocked down, that's fine. You immediately go with Hemlock and don't get greedy with the Smelling Salts and Noxious Blast.
Like, Graves is coming, and he's very pushy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Graves is always just going to wander around and push you back in where you came from.
Yeah. Well, I guess you go with Hemlock and try and blind him before he comes into Saber.
Yeah, I think the Smelling Salts is kind of ideally what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You're giving up value, but it's kind of not a necessity, but ultimately there's the whole butterfly effect thing where that is going to lead to Decimate going in the box.
Obulus, the Morticians winning the initiative on cards, choosing to go first, and loading up Casket ready to walk in. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Casket can do it on himself. I mean, does he have 5, 6, 7, 8?
3-1.
What's his playbook like? Can you bring it up for us on the app?
4 influence.
Going for it. Oh, 4 influence. Sorry, yeah. I forget he's a big guy who can take 4.
Yeah,
he's fine then. Eight dice, 3s and 1.
That's a good start.
Oh, well, how to set it up. That's a wrap, 3 damage in total. 4 health left. Next attack. What's on the front of his playbook?
What do you mean? On the front? What, his character plays?
Yeah,
Heavy Burden
yeah,
and Ghostly
there's no way to accidentally kill. So Decimate is dead, which is confirming that it's box. I didn't hear legendary called. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Okay.
It was when Jason had said, Jason's reply was, but I don't really want you to. So 4 VPs from the Casket time taken.
4 VPs to Tim.
So it's 6-0 to Timmy. Ronan questioning, but he took someone out. It's usually 2. He has a legendary that means you put them in the box on his back and you get 4. So it counts as a goal. But you can only do it once in a game. He's shaking his head. Talk to Perkins if you've got any complaints. Get him to fix that up. Yep.
Bird picking the ball up, flying over, unsnapping it.
Yep. I think we all saw that one coming.
The classic dirge run around.
The flying V being exacted by the Morticians.
Flying inverse V. Wings out in front.
Greater than.
Yeah.
The flying greater than.
Do you ever still do that thing with greater than and less than? I really struggle to remember them, so I have to use that the crocodile wants to eat the bigger
Eats
thing.
it. I mean, I don't still do that because I am an adult, so no.
All right.
But I do the thing with directions where every now and then someone says need to go left. I do the L on the finger.
Okay, see, I've got that one nailed down.
No, you see, there we go. So I'm okay with greater than and less than. But I'm still not great with directions, which is awesome when it comes to driving.
Never eat shredded wheat runner saying he starts to do that.
When was the last time you had to, though, really? When you bought a house?
He always manages in every conversation. Yeah. Guys, I own a house now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to go
Ronan
home.
is a homeowner. If you want to congratulate him, he does now have Twitter. Ronan, what's your Twitter?
At Ronin Kelly. Ronin Kelly with an
R-O-N-I-N. Kelly.
Yeah.
No spaces? No.
You can't have spaces in a Twitter handle.
Well, I meant like underscore or something. Okay. So yeah, if you want to follow Ronan, he does actually probably tweet. He definitely tweets more than I do about stuff to do with Steamforged. So go and follow him at RONIN Kelly KELLY.
And occasionally,
and they're our ones.
They're our ones on
if you
screen
want to see those.
If you dare to follow us. Some of the interesting things that Ronan can and does post occasionally is unused promo.
Yep, unused promo stuff. There's some gold in there. So just some kind of jostling around. This is looking pretty rough for Jason at this point.
Yeah. Well, Timmy only needs one more kill.
Yeah, and he's just going to move that block up.
Yeah.
Snaps the ball, snaps it. That no momentum passing of the snap, unsnap, snap, unsnap.
Pass and move.
Moving it, was it about 3 inches away? 3 inches a time? Excuse me?
Jason saying that he's going to start after having to risk it.
Yeah, he's got to.
Got to do something to pull it back.
It's like we've said in a lot of games, once someone has fallen behind, the route to get back in is get full control over the tempo of takeouts over the game and have the ball to where you can get to 8 and close it before your opponent can, or you need to start scoring goals and hope your opponent doesn't score the ones in return.
Yep. I'm not sure what the missed activation.
Sorry?
So midfield general, sprint 9.
Yep, so this is Hemlock.
Jason here realising, actually, well, hold on.
You got 5,
You've
and
got
you're
5
still
on
tooled
you.
up.
Still tooled up.
Yep.
And you just kill
Well,
Hemlock,
not,
and I give you the
not
game.
still tooled up, but you are again tooled up.
Yeah. And Timmy saying, yep, glad you kind of spotted that one because...
Yeah. That would have made my life a lot easier because I would have just charged you and killed you and still had the ball and you still can't get it back.
Yeah.
And then I might even run all my players at you so you can get as much momentum as possible so I can then
take it.
Actually, no, that wouldn't work because your first activation would be an Obulus.
It's just I go first. With Obulus Legendary, take your 1, I'll go walk into the tapping range and miss the shot on goal and cry.
Yeah, like I'll spend my momentum to heal nothing. Yeah. I'll glide.
Yeah.
But there's nothing there. I don't want you stealing it.
Yeah. I'll glide and heal. I'll remove condition.
I've done that before. Where I was like, I want to heal him. I had no players that are taking the damage. I want to heal him. I'm not sure you could do that. I'll glide. Takes 3 damage. Heals with momentum.
So heals up Hemlock, but just takes 1 down. Only heals 1 because of hurting herself.
So I believe that should leave Hemlock on 10.
He's just moving a little bit forwards to snap the ball. And Jason saying, well, it's obvious now you're going for the goal, so I need to try and stop this. Hemlock here with a 7-inch walk. So we've lost our cameraman Ronan as he's gone to go find a judge for
one of the
games.
other tables.
David Cameron asking for a judge.
Jury and executioner.
Yep. Hits the blind. And then obnoxious blast.
And then Hemlock heals, so Hemlock back on full health. So now the threat range is not there to get Hemlock. But dodges forwards. So uses Shadowlike onto there, spends 1 to glide, and then does the charge.
Yep.
So it'll be on 7
3
dice because the
for
blind
7 dice.
did hit.
3 momentous damage.
Because they're tooled up.
Another attack comes in. 3 dice. Fails. Another one. 2 damage. Another attack comes in. Nothing.
Just setting up here. So safe, sitting there on the ball.
Yep. So 2 influence out of the game as Decimate is in the box.
Yep.
Obulus and Graves taking 2 damage apiece.
Leaving Obulus on 6 and Graves on 4. Oh, looks like, according to the card, Graves is on 8, so I'm guessing he's been healed at some point in there.
Keep the ball moving, go for the knees. Go for the knees, played, I believe, gives additional influence, so sort of mitigating a little bit of that casket time. And +1 attack on the player, which goes on to Veteran Fangtooth.
Well, goodbye Hemlock. Is Timmy going to miss his chance on goal?
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that evens a game back out. I mean, I know it's still very much in Timmy's favour at 6-0, but a missed goal evens it out a little bit more. And yeah, players identifying the game could be over with this activation.
Yep.
Kills Hemlock, scores a goal, 12-0. Embarrassing defeat for Jason.
Poor guy.
Poor guy, missed the shot on goal. Thing is, if that goal had gone in, I see it just being 12-4.
Yeah.
Like,
basically, I don't actually think it changes the state of the game. I say that. I feel like the bigger use the legendary to take the 1 momentum to remove any potential counter attack from anything.
Yep. It's a damage. Second time. 2 momentous damage. 2 health left. Bonus time in this one. Nothing. One.
There's another one.
Last one. Is that the last influence? The last?
No.
Take
So that's
out.
the takeout.
Tim on to 8 victory points.
So he's got 1. I think he's got 1 influence left.
So there was no shadow likes, just a walk. So
I don't
just
think he can
players
get a
just
clear
discussing.
line either, if I'm honest.
So bonus time.
It's 4
It's got the
because
extra
of the block
kick,
card.
and there's a goal.
And in it goes. And
That is 12-0 to Tim.
Timmy.
Tim really didn't want to be on stream, so he ended the game as soon as possible. So, unfortunately, I think had Blackheart scored, it's still 12-4 by the looks of it. I think you were going to say before this activation started.
The larger factor was the psychological impact that it seemed to have of the decision making after it was kind of the nail in the coffin afterwards. There was just like it seemed to take I'm not sure if Jason was really actively taking like any part in that game. After he missed that goal, he just seemed to kind of switch off.
Just do the motions of
just going through the motions, and then wasn't concentrating properly when Timmy had tooled up Obulus.
Yep.
And then was like, oh well, I would have moved her if I'd realised. Like, did quite clearly say it. But that's the way it goes. We know that Timmy's really good with his Morticians, and he's kind of done to show how efficient they can be. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily the Obulus show, because he utilised everything that his team could do so well, using Hemlock really, really, really well. Yeah. Graves just tooling up Obulus.
Killed Hemlock twice, doesn't it?
Yep, Hemlock went down twice, and then Decimate in the box, and then a goal.
Yeah. So realistically, do you reckon just what could have happened differently from certain points, rather than Hemlock going in for the blind, just running away with Hemlock?
Yes.
Keeps those 2 points away. You're still in the game.
I think that's definitely one.
I also think
taking the.
It's a really difficult one, because I think Timmy's team brawls far better than this team does.
Yep.
He's got access to tooled up to do high amounts of damage in one single activation, to take out a player in a turn, and with a 7 influence captain like Obulus, very reliable to do.
Yep.
There isn't anything that you need set up from Blackheart to really one-turn a character. Decimate with Butchery on someone can take him out.
So the largest point for me of confusion, I can't remember how much influence she had in the situation where she was engaged by Ghast. But he moved, and I want to say he'd second-winded, because he used the second wind move to get out.
Yeah.
So if you move in, spend an influence to take that really easy double dodge.
Jump away.
But I'm guessing he didn't have the influence because of the fear?
So I think he only had 1 influence on him.
But he's second-winded, isn't second-wind?
I think I didn't think he had that much on him.
Because he definitely did 2 instances of moving.
Did he?
Because he started where he was and then moved out onto the flank.
Yeah, and then second wind to.
Well, I thought,
unless
that was all one fluid movement.
I think that was one movement, and he was just bringing her away.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. But yeah, that taking that part in blow just seemed bad.
I think I'd rather have like Graves have an extra dice.
Yeah.
Than hit me at 3-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's the extra dice. This is a really weird way of saying it, but doesn't carry over into the next turn and doesn't cost me momentum to get rid of.
Yeah, and I think the not paying attention to tool up on Obulus, like
that was big. That 2 points was a big swing.
It was
so reliable.
2 points and 4 influence in the turn. That's standing up Decimate and either blinding someone that's important, throwing out more Noxious Blast to bring those characters down even further to start your own kill train.
But it was really good. Ultimately boils down to really good target prioritization. We kind of touched it at the top of talking about, like, if you can unclog the machine and pick out the main piece that's really disrupting you, which in that matchup was Hemlock.
Yeah.
We saw Hemlock go down twice.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one wasn't really a huge amount to do with the disruption, but
it was just that you were there on the table.
Yeah. And then Jason, I mean, I might say that there was a mistake in that he went to try and stop the goal.
Yeah, he shouldn't. I don't think from our position and our luxury of being in the commentary box and watching it from the top down, by moving Hemlock to where she went and with Obulus being able to rail on her for 2 turns in a row, even with a heal, she wasn't safe.
We've seen it a few times in a few of the games where it's just been. We have the benefit of being able to see it up here and go, well, your opponent needs this many points to win the game.
Yeah.
They currently have this many on the table that they can get with current table state. Without the table state changing, they can't get any more than this. And then their opponent goes and hands them the other points they need by adjusting the table state into a favourable manner when they're not really getting a huge amount out of doing it. But it is that kind of that adrenaline and feeling the need, like, I'm behind, I need to do something proactive.
Yeah.
And I 100% get that
oh yeah, definitely.
we could talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. At the point that you are 6-0 down to Morticians and they have the ball and are all clustered up in a nice group, you've dinged up a few of them, but you can't get to them.
No.
I don't see a way back into that.
And like Blackheart is probably like you assume Obulus is going down. I don't know if he's got Scalpel in his 10 for Timmy. I assume probably not. He probably wants the flex picks elsewhere. And Blackheart probably is the right choice because he can actually get into Blackheart.
Yeah, I mean he had a decent amount of 2-inch melee. What's he got?
Yeah.
Fangtooth, Mist,
and Blackheart.
Yeah, Hemlock's not 2-inch.
That's not 2-inch.
Veteran 2-inch melee.
Veteran Minxes, yes, yeah. Jury gains that.
Veteran Minx, not talking about Veteran Minx.
Sorry, veteran Hemlock is 2-inch, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but they both got it. I'm not sold on the Decimate pick, in all honesty. The order that the picks went out, I believe Decimate was the final pick for... Mist was the final pick, Decimate was the pick prior
I feel like it was really well leveraged in turn 1. I actually thought the turn 1 out of Jason was really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Using Hemlock as he did, and then using the second wind to kind of pull back. I'm gonna make sure that you...
And I guess that's what you wanted Decimate for, the second wind.
Yeah, I would assume so. And don't get me wrong, turn 1 against Obulus is crazy important because of all the players in the game. You look at all the really good players there are to kick off with.
Yeah.
You know, Siren, Mist, because just the threat you present and stuff. Obulus is petrifying.
Yeah.
So being able to have... If you're taking a model just to shut down Obulus's turn 1...
Then
I get it, but in the same way, I don't know what I take instead.
I think something like Benediction to offer another 2-inch melee, put sturdy onto people. You know, I think the order that came out for Morticians was
Harry, some cheeky goad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw Graves come out first, then Gast, then Casket, then Veteran Hemlock at the last. After seeing Gast, you know you're playing against Knockdown. If Benediction's in your 10, I think he comes out because he can sturdy the important characters.
Yeah.
And, you know, if Benediction's around, he can put sturdy on someone. They can walk away from, like, Decimate could have walked away from that.
Yeah, just kind of that tech that's more useful for the rest of the game, so to speak. That seems fair.
It's one of them, like, if Benediction's there's a second model to fuel Mist's motivated. It's definitely a tough one, and I think...
You just you're trying to find someone that fits in there that gets you the most value.
Yeah.
Speaking of value, Mr. Giblin.
If you want to own the Morticians Guild, you can buy it on store.steamforged.com, and if you use TeamStream10 this weekend, you get 10% off. But not only do you get 10% off, you show the guys back at home that this stream is worthwhile for us coming to support the independent events. Obviously, we'll always be at Steamforged events.
Yep.
But we'd love to do more, but we need to make it financially viable. We're still a young company. It's not cheap sending 3 guys out with all the recording equipment. And
6 suitcases worth of equipment.
Yep. Although we have realised we can cut it down more. But it's not cheap. This shows that there is a financial goal with this as well, which sounds really mercenary. But
yeah, no, like that's
we're a young company.
That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Is we are here as much as it. We get the glory of the double-edged sword that we enjoy doing it.
Yep.
But when it boils down to it, you guys watching it is helping like promote the game as much as anything. That's why we like coming to the shows. Is it helps promote the events and it helps promote the game. But we need to be able to kind of have something to show for it.
Yep.
I guess
outside of content.
So. That is us for this one. We may be back for another.
Yeah, we may.
We may not. So
this might have been the final.
We've just seen a member of...
Don't know how Dan's done. So 2 games are finished.
2 games are finished.
David
so Dan
Cameron
versus Dominic, who we saw in the last stream game, has wrapped up. We know that Timmy won that game, and we've got... Christian, is it? Christian versus David Cameron.
Yeah, not that one.
Still ongoing, but not that one. That is still ongoing, so we're not sure what the scores in the other ones were.
What's quite nice is that the players that have finished have left the room, so they can't influence the games that are ongoing, which is really good fun, because like, let's say both these Germans have won, and they're like, oh, Christian, by the way, we've won.
Yeah, you're good.
He's like, I don't care then, concede, get ready for... It's nice that there's no influencing factors on the final game.
And then we'll do one last plug before we vanish for this one, for Longshanks. So Longshanks is the...
tournament organizer
software provided, used
online
for all the organisation of the event and a lot of other events that run. It's run by a really nice guy called Sam. He has 2 ways of being able to support his website.
Yep.
You can subscribe to it, or you can just give a one-time donation.
Yep.
That's the way to track what's going on at the WTC, and most other events tend to use it as well. If you use it a lot and have been a fan of being able to keep up on it, please do consider supporting it, because it's not cheap to host that sort of thing.
Nope. And if you subscribe, you gain access to more in-depth stats. So your basic thing, you can see your win-loss draws.
Yep.
If you pay and you subscribe, then you get an additional service of being able to track your in-faction results against other factions, and you get a whole heap of information about your games.
If you like your stats, get on it.
If you're a stat man.
Skibidi-bidi-doop-da-doop-doop.
All right, or you can make a single payment for a one-time donation. But guys, we will be back maybe later on. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. If we are not,
see you later.
See you later, alligator. Bye.